Hello and welcome back to Satisfactory. This episode I'm building the steel production line as well as the reinforced iron plates and modular frames. So first of all I'll need to get some more iron and coal, which is gonna take me some while as I've already used the closest nodes. And after a few nearly fatal encounters with these aliens, I managed to get my conveyor belts lined up and ready for the next build. And with a total of 240 of both iron and coal. So for this production line I'm gonna try a bit of a different approach. I will have the foundries placed on the middle level and I'll have the iron or coal coming in from the level below, and vice versa for the other one coming in from the level above. So as I finish building yet another simple solution to a factory, I kind of realized that I still haven't built a factory line for the reinforced iron plates. And seeing as I'm using Mark II conveyor belts, it would be kind of convenient to have an actual production line for the reinforced iron plates. So I decided to put the steel production on hold while I built the reinforced iron plates production line. And that sounds simple enough. But of course I had completely forgotten about the splitter room, which I kind of knew would give me problems the day I built it, but as I always do, I postponed the problems and now I have to deal with it. So with that said, I went ahead and built it taller, added some more splitters, added in some more conveyor belts and did the modifications I needed to do. And once again, I know it's going to give me a problem in the future because I do not dimension it for a expansion, but that'll have to be a problem for another day. So that being done, I set my focus on building this next production line. Kind of quickly found a way to build it, had a few working accidents along the way, but no big deal. So in this line I was planning on having all the entries coming from one level below. So the room I'm building for the items in and out of the factory tends to be quite similar on all the production lines I make. And I've been trying a long time now to find another way to do it, but it just ends up with the same every single time. So I'm not gonna fight it, I'll just do it the same way. It works. And it doesn't look too bad. So I've been building for quite some time now and I'm actually quite happy with how this turned out. So this is how it looks right now. It's not done by any means, but it is producing what I need, so it'll have to do for now. And I'm just giving you a quick overview over the factory. This is the splitter room, which I built taller, and I will probably have to continue build even taller in the future. And this is the factory which produces the screws and iron plates and iron rods. Anyways, before I move on to the steel production line, I just remember that I have to build the modular frames as well. So then I might as well just finish up this one with the walls and all that, and I think I'll just replicate it for the modular frames. And there we go, we have the walls in place and it's all done. So I guess I'll just go ahead and replicate it for the production line for the modular frames. And once again, there we go. I've already built the assemblers on the top floor, and I just temporarily opened the wall so I could replicate everything down here as well. And while I'm doing this, I'm trying to figure out a way to get the iron rods in here, because I think they'll have to go through the other production line there somehow. And believe it or not, I'm trying not to make it look like a mess. And that's trying. It usually ends up like a mess, but I'm still trying. So I found a solution which I think I'll be happy with. The reinforced iron plates are going from this factory to the splitter room, where one conveyor belt is taking them back into this room, where they enter the wall behind the other belts and then cross the entire room and then enter into the room where we're gonna build the modular frames. So I figured I'll use the conveyor wall mounts here. It looks a lot cleaner than having the conveyor belts cover the whole floor. And then I'll try to lift this conveyor belt up from the ground, because I feel that looks a bit cleaner as well, instead of when you have them on the floor and you'll have to jump over them or crouch underneath them every time you're trying to move around this room. Okay, there we go. We have the iron rods coming in, and the reinforced iron plates will soon be entering as well. Now it's just time for some cleanup, create the walls, finish this room, and then I'll need to make an extraction conveyor belt as well for the modular frames. And as you can see, I'm going for the same setup here. I'm using the conveyor wall mounts, and we'll just extract them the same way as we did for the entry side. And that's it. Now I just need to get this to some kind of temporary storage, and I'll be able to continue my main mission, which is the steel production line. So this is how it turned out. We have the reinforced iron plates under our roof, and I completely forgot the roof on the other part of the factory. But we'll take care of that later on. And now just a moment to enjoy the beautiful view of all my conveyor belts from afar. Okay, I think that's enough messing around. Now let's finish up what we came here for. So I'm just trying to find a proper way to place these so I can have the conveyor lifts coming in directly into the splitters. But as I have managed to place the splitters in, well, not in the center of the tiles, it's not that easy to get them aligned. So for some reason my brain is not functioning at all. So I gave up on trying to get them in the center, and I just took a conveyor lift straight through the foundation, and I will connect them to the conveyor belts down on the ground. And now I've connected all the conveyor belts to the lifts, and it's time to get some power connected and see if it works. Once again, this is gonna be a temporary solution, because as I mentioned earlier, when I progress and get some more factories and develop some more items to create, I will need to do some redesigning of this whole area with the conveyor belts and the power cords. And a lot of the conveyor belts will be changed out when I get a more efficient ones like Mark III. And the power has been connected, and they're all set in motion to produce steel bars. Now I'm trying to figure out a way to get the steel bars out without doing exactly the same as I've done on every other factory. And this is the solution I came up with. It's not as effective in any way, but it looks different. It doesn't look clean. It looks messy, and I'm gonna regret doing it like this later on, but kind of looks a bit cool as well. So I just went ahead and finished the walls and the belts coming out, and this is what we ended up with. Kind of looks different, and it doesn't look too bad, to be honest. And as I thought, this setup is already starting to cause me problems. I have absolutely no idea how I'm gonna split this between making the pipes and the bars. So for now I'm just building a temporary bar production so that I can get some supplies to continue developing in the space elevator. And I'm just putting up a temporary storage right here for the bars. And that's our steel production done. And as I mentioned, I did make a temporary steel bar and pipe production just to be able to keep developing the space elevator. And that's the plan for the next episode, where I will continue building that one into a more permanent one. And this is what I ended up with on my reinforced iron plates and iron modular frames. I managed to get the roof on, so this one is all done now. And in between the building of the steel production, I did some modification to my iron ingots, whereas I had to add in another conveyor belt because it was exceeding the limit on the one I had. So I added in 2 more belts, extracting iron ingots into my other factory for the plates and rods and screws. Okay, so that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed it. And please don't forget to leave a like, a dislike, a comment, or a subscription if you want to continue following this journey to building a big ass factory. Once again, thank you and goodbye.